Now let us discuss a question. So the charge Q, 1 microcoulomb, is placed at this point. Find the electric field intensity at this point, which is some other point. Now I will say that this is my one point where the charge is placed, and this point is 1, 2, 4. And here we are putting Q, which is nothing but 1 microcoulomb. And we need to find electric field intensity at another point, which is P over here. So P is 0, minus 4, 3. So it is at, this is my arc vector, and I need both. I need magnitude of R vector, I need R cap. So first I am finding this R vector. How do you find position vector of P? Let us call it A. So my OP vector is nothing but position vector of P minus position vector of O. So I am going to do 0 minus 1, that is minus 1 I cap, minus 4 minus 2, that is minus 6 J cap, 3 minus 4, that is minus 1 K cap. So this is my R vector. I need two things. I need its magnitude, I need its unit vector. So rather than finding unit vector, I am going to apply this formula. E equals to KQ by R vector. This is my R vector. So R vector, magnitude of that cube times R vector. So there was a square and this was R cap. So I wrote R cap as R vector divided by magnitude of R vector. This is coming from vector. So this made it cube and this is over here. So we need its magnitude also. So let us find that separately. So magnitude of R vector is nothing but root over minus 1 square, minus 6 square, minus 6 whole square, which is 36, and then minus 1 whole square again, so 1. So it is root over 38. This is my magnitude of R vector. So I am writing it as, this is the vector form. I am directly getting the vector answer. So K, which is 9 into 10 raised to power plus 9. Q, the charge is 1 microcoulomb. The Q is 1 microcoulomb. So 1 into 10 raised to power minus 6 by R cube. So root 38 whole cube times R vector. And what is our R vector? R vector, I am taking minus as common, and this becomes I cap plus 6J cap plus K cap. And this is my electric field intensity at this point P due to this charge which is placed at 1, 2, 4. Now let us discuss electric flux. So first is, if the lines of force passes through a surface, then the surface is said to have some electric flux associated with it. So if there is an electric field is represented by electric field lines. So if electric field lines are crossing a particular surface, then we say that surface is having some electric flux. How do we define electric flux? To define electric flux, we will say that the flux linked with small area element on the surface on the body is defined by this mathematical expression. It is E dot ds. What is E over here? So here E is nothing but electric field at that elementary area. And what about ds vector? Ds vector is the area vector. It is the area vector of the small area element, and it is the dot product of these two. So if this is the area, how the area vector is? Area vector is basically, if this is the area, then area vector itself is always perpendicular to the area. So suppose this is 5 meter square area and this is the direction and this is my x-axis. Then the area vector can be written as 5 I cap, because the area, and this area is lying in xz plane, yz plane. So direction is along x-axis. Now let us discuss the Gauss's theorem. So what does the Gauss's theorem says? Gauss's theorem says, first what it tells. So it tells the relationship between electric flux through any closed surface, which is also known as Gaussian surface, and the charge which is enclosed by the closed surface. Now let us understand the statement of Gauss's theorem. So this states that the total electric flux phi is what? Total electric flux through any closed surface is equal to 1 by epsilon naught times the net charge enclosed by the surface. So net charge inside the closed surface, I am saying Q in. Now this mathematical expression is the total flux phi is equal to q in by epsilon naught. And how do we write flux? We were saying that ds, d phi, the small, very small flux is nothing but E dot ds. This is how flux is defined. Now, if you want to get the total flux, then integrate both. And what is this new sign? This new sign means you have to integrate throughout the closed surface. So that's why we are integrating like that. This means nothing but the integration only, but throughout the entire whole closed surface. So this is integration of E dot ds is equal to q in by epsilon naught, or in simple words, the total flux is equal to q in by epsilon naught. This is the mathematical form of Gauss's law. What is q in? Q in is the total charge which is within the enclosed, total charge which is inside our Gaussian surface. Now let us do a note, and this note says that Gauss's theorem is a fundamental theorem and it is always applicable for any of the closed surface. Now that closed surface may be real or may be hypothetical. It has to be a closed surface. For open surface, Gauss's law is not true. But if this is a closed surface, this closed surface can be of any shape. The shape of the closed surface does not matter. This looks 2D, but in 3D you have to think of a closed surface, and the q in is nothing but charge which is lying inside the closed surface. If we talk about that, the Gauss's theorem is always applicable. Whether the electric field is uniform or variable, you can always apply the Gauss's theorem. It states nothing about the electric field. It just say how much charge is present inside our closed Gaussian surface. Let us do a question. This question says that 3-point charges minus q, plus q and capital Q, which are minus q, plus q and capital Q, they are situated in the region as shown. So minus q and q are inside this surface and this is outside the surface. Then this is an imaginary Gaussian sphere, okay? And now the first question is, what is the flux over the Gaussian sphere? What is the total flux on this Gaussian sphere? So we will say the total flux is nothing but q in by epsilon naught. What is q in? Q in is the algebraic sum of all the charges present inside. So this q does not play any role because it is not inside the closed Gaussian surface. It is lying outside. And now the addition, algebraic addition of these two. So it is basically minus q plus q. So that is the 0. So this is my q in. And q in is 0. So we'll say since this thing is 0, so total flux through this closed Gaussian surface is nothing. I am saying total flux. I am not saying flux through this particular region or this particular region. The entire flux through this Gaussian sphere is nothing but 0. Let us look at the second question. So second question says, which of the charges contributes to the intensity of the field at P? So at this particular point, which of the charges are doing contribution? So basically this negative charge will be producing an electric field intensity like that. This will be producing an electric field intensity like that. And this will also be producing an electric field intensity in that region. It depends. So electric field intensity at this particular point is due to all the charges. So we know that flux is 0. But this flux is total flux, not flux in this region. So here the electric field is not 0. Electric field is a non-zero quantity, but total flux through this entire surface is 0. So we'll say answer is all three. All three are contributing to the electric field intensity at this particular point.